Hello.
Hey there,
Hi. I see this is a,
Elizabeth Peters here.
oh, very good, Elizabeth. Thank you for coming on today. We're a little bit early. We're about to
Yeah, my husband Rick.
repeat.
Okay. We just got off another Zoom meeting, so
Oh,
if it's okay, we might be eating lunch while we're
that's fine.
participating.
I'm finishing my salad right now,
Okay.
so that's fine. You bet. But thanks for coming on
Okay,
board.
very good.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. We'll turn the video off though, just so we don't distract anybody.
Hmm. As you wish.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Let's see. We've got another one. Hello, Patty. Patty? I can't hear you, Patty. Do you want to try to call on the phone? Do you want to try to call? Why don't I call you? Why don't I call you?
I
Oh,
I
there you are.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Okay, very
I
good.
just had to hit the right buttons.
Okay, well, that's usually how it works. We already have one person on. She's disabled her video and
Great.
we start. Um, Someone named Elizabeth Peters. So, how are you this morning, Patty?
Oh, I'm just fine. Just fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was a little nervous that I wasn't going to be able to make the thing work, get on Zoom, but it did. It was very easy.
Good, good.
But I had a problem this morning with my phone. Somehow or other, it muted. My husband went to do errands, and I didn't get his call. And I thought if I had to do this with you via my phone, and my phone wasn't working.
You could use sign language.
Yeah,
It'll be like
yeah.
a game of charades.
So yeah. So yeah, okay. So this is good. I guess I can see myself. It looks all right, huh?
Mm-hmm. You look fantastic.
Background. I was trying to get
You know, if you have a
some
green
background
screen,
there. That's
if you have a green screen,
pardon.
if you have a green screen, you can use you can, do custom backgrounds.
Yeah. Well, who knows how often I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
I might
We'll
invest in
see.
one.
Oh, yeah. I'll be right back. I got to get something. So, yeah, let's, if they're just so let me ask this. So when you're talking, I see you when I talk, then I'm on there. Can I see the other people? It'll show up here. Oh, I see. Is that, I think I know Elizabeth. I
Elizabeth
think I
Peters,
know who
yeah,
she
she's got her
is.
video off right now, but she may turn it on and you should be able to see the other participants.
Okay. And I think especially if we just have a couple of people, if we can make it really like just a conversation, I'll talk, but if people, like if Elizabeth says, I mean, if she raises her hand and has a question, I love doing that, just being
Sure.
able to converse.
Well, this is your show.
Yeah.
We'll enable everybody's microphones if there aren't too many people. If there are a lot of
Okay.
people, I'll have to mute everybody's microphones, but they'll be able to unmute themselves and then remute to avoid
Yeah.
feedback. Yeah, I'll be right back. Right back.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see if I can do chatting. Okay. This is a test for a group chat message. Okay, very good. I've got one of these gaming keyboards. It's a little faster than my fingers are, so sometimes I trip over myself.
Oh, I'm not into that.
Got all these these changing color keys that go through all the colors of the rainbow.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that? It was on
Very
sale.
impressive.
Well, it was on sale, you know, what can you do? Can't pass a deal like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool.
Mhm. I've got 1257.
Yep, that's what mine says.
Did you get my message? My text message to you?
Which one?
I sent, this is a test.
Pardon?
I sent 2 messages. One says this is a test for a group chat message. And everyone gets that. And I sent one that says this is a private message for Patti only.
I'm not very good at having a couple of things going on my screen at once
Gotcha.
because I'm liable to disconnect. I see, well, I could look on my phone. Yeah.
It won't be on your phone. It won't be on your phone. It'll be on your computer. Somewhere, if you move your mouse to the bottom of the screen, you'll see a chat icon.
Oh. Well, like I say, I'm afraid I'll disconnect us.
Okay, we won't use that then. Hi, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Elizabeth is back.
Hey, Patti.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
You remember me from my time at Sedcor?
I do. I told Richard, I said, I think I know who Elizabeth is. I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, you too. Man, how do you never change? You look amazing.
Oh, the hair's getting pretty gray, and the bags under the eyes, but
We all have that.
you look great.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm the lucky one.
Yeah,
You both
Rick,
look
my
great.
husband and I are both here. I'm sorry?
I said, I'm the lucky one. You both look great.
So do you, Richard, especially after all you've just been through.
Oh. Well, thanks.
So are we it? Are there others that are gonna come on?
5 people said they would show up, and they may or may not, but I'm going to give them 1 more minute when my clock strikes 1, and we'll try to make a habit of starting on time. And if you're the only person, that's great.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, we get Patti Milne all to ourselves.
I know. What a privilege.
That is awesome.
That's right.
Yes, it is. We just got off a call with the Oregon Association of Nurseries, and Greg Walden was on.
Oh,
wow.
good.
It was
Good.
wonderful. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Elizabeth, what are you doing these days?
Well, you know, when I left Sedcor, I went to our business, which is we do consulting, process improvement consulting for businesses.
Uh-huh.
So it's been, we got a pretty big hit with COVID because a lot of companies don't trust having any outsiders on their campuses. But we're doing fine. We've moved a big chunk of our training online, so it's been good. That's what we're
Okay,
doing.
we've got more.
Good. Good for
Yeah.
you.
We've got more people coming online.
Donna.
Good.
Okay, we've got more people coming online.
Great.
Okay.
This is good.
Yep, and I've got 1 o'clock, so if it's all right, Patty, I'm going to start.
That sounds great. Let me just, okay. So I see Greg Johnson. Hello. And is there someone else?
We've got
It looks,
Jeanette,
no. Okay,
Jeannie. Yeah, we've
good.
got quite a few people
I'm
on.
not seeing. Oh, well, I'm not seeing everybody.
Yeah, we've got, well, not everyone has video. We have Vanessa,
Okay.
Michelle, Ina Bennett. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Somebody named Jeannie, somebody named Jeanette, somebody named Greg Johnson, somebody named Donna, you, Patty, Elizabeth Peters, and myself so far. So without objection,
Wow.
I'm going to go ahead and start. First of all, I would like to thank
Great.
you all for attending this first weekly Western Liberty Network Zoom training. We're going to do this every week, and they're short trainings, about 40 minutes each, and they're designed to provide you with the skills that activists need to be better citizen lobbyists, to run for and serve in local office, and do other things that can help them change the fabric of the political culture where people live. Next week, we're going to have Tootie Smith, who is going, she's Clackamas County Commissioner Chair. She's going to talk about how to testify in front of public boards. So my name is Richard Burke. I'm the Executive Director of Western Liberty Network. I've also served as chair of the Oregon Government Ethics Commission, commissioner and president of Tualatin Valley Water District. I've worked in the Senate as an aide and was the Libertarian candidate for governor way back in 1998. We have Patti Milne with us today, who is a good friend of mine, a great supporter of Western Liberty Network. She was an outstanding state representative when she was in the legislature and Marion County Commissioner. One thing I want to do is, if you like this kind of material and you think that it's useful, I invite you to visit the westernlibertynetwork.org website. We have a conference slated for January 30th, where we have a national speaker from FreedomWorks coming in, Kim Thatcher, Tootie Smith, Representative Mike Neerman, and a bunch of other people that are going to train people how to be effective citizen lobbyists in the legislative session coming up, how to run for and serve in local office in the May elections that are coming up in 2021 already. 3,500 seats are up for office, and other things that will help us be successful where we live. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and Patty has expressed that she would like people to just jump in whenever they want, to have sort of a conversational tone. I'm gonna back off of this meeting and hand it to Patty in a second. So if you want to comment, nothing formal, just unmute your microphone. Right now I see that let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 participants, and everybody I think is muted, but just unmute yourself and ask a question or a comment. And with that, I'm going to turn the rest of the time over to my good friend, former state representative and Marion County Commissioner, Patti Milne.
Oh, thank you, Richard, and thank you for the invitation to participate in this. I'm always it's just so amazed at how you pull people together and the training you're doing and the effectiveness you've had, and it's evident in these last several elections at all levels of getting people involved. So yes, I do want to say to people that I jump in. I don't know what everybody's knowledge and experience is. We're going to talk about the basics of lobbying office holders, and talk about, yes, citizen activism. Lobbying is the part of it. So that's what we're going to talk about. But I don't want to, I want to be sure to answer your questions or talk about any ideas or concerns you have. So, but I'm going to begin. And Richard has shared with me that you have the companion documents that he makes available. And he does a great job of outlining all of these topics that we talk about in these trainings. And I tend to use it as a line. So I don't want to take time repeating everything he has, but kind of put it in my own words. So I know if I were just beginning to think about doing some lobbying and getting more involved, being a much greater active citizen, going to the Capitol could be a little intimidating. And I will, I'm going to take the perspective in my comments of primarily going to lobby your legislator. Yes, I've had experience as a county commissioner, and people came in and talked to me about the issues important. County commissioners do take action on a lot of things that are really important in your life, and also what happens at your city council and is really important to your local community. So, but primarily I'll talk about lobbying legislators, because what I say about that will also be effective and impact how you talk to anybody else of your elected officials that you'd like to talk to. So the first thing you're going to do, where it all begins, is I'm going to make an appointment and go talk to my state representative or my state senator. And so, yes, you have to set an appointment. It all begins with making that decision to do that, and recognizing there are a variety of reasons that anyone, each of us, wants to become more involved and be more active. Could be from your professional background, it could be as a parent, it could be as a community member involved in whatever it might be, the food bank or a civic group. But something has spurred you to do this, and we encourage you, yes, the most effective thing to do is to sit face to face with your legislator, your county commissioner, or your city councilor or mayor, to talk about this. And I'm going to say this issue. There may be many issues that you're particularly concerned about, but for the sake of this conversation, we'll put it in terms of, you have an issue. There's a bill at the legislature that is something you really want to see happen, or something you really don't want to see happen. So you make your appointment, and keep in mind that as you call your legislator's office, your county commissioner's office, or you try to get in touch with your city councilor, that there are phone numbers publicly available. You're going to call that number, and of course you'll find out who it is you're speaking with, and you're going to say, I'm Patti Milne, and I would like an appointment with Senator Jones. And that's the best way to get started and to begin your activism. I'm sorry, what? Do you have a question? Okay. If you have a question or a comment, just jump in.
I do have a question. I do not have any documents.
Okay. So Richard, do you want to jump in? They are available on the website.
Yes, I just sent a link to everyone through the chat function. So look at the chat function on your Zoom, and you'll see a message from me that I sent to everyone. Just a moment.
Oh, I do see it. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
And let's see, I'm going to send it to everyone in meeting. Let's see, I've got to finish this one first. Now I've got the other one. Let's see, hold on. Copy, paste, where's paste? I'll get it to you in a second. You don't need it to follow along with Patti, but I'll make sure that you get it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Patti.
All right. So we're making an appointment with our legislators so we can go talk about an issue. Do keep in mind that legislators' calendars, their schedule is very chaotic, it's very full, and they really are not the ones who are in charge of their time at any point. So you will, oops, I've got some feedback there. So be thankful. If you can get 5 minutes, you might be told you have 10 minutes. Just be very, very happy for the time you get. And 5 minutes, you go in, you say, hello, I'm so-and-so. You're really looking at, quite frankly, making a little presentation to your elected official about the issue that you're wanting to talk to them about. And there's a lot that you can say and do, a lot that can be accomplished. You can be very effective in a very short period of time, and we'll keep talking about that in just a couple of minutes. So don't be offended if when the staff person says, well, you want to come in on Monday, the senator is not available at all on Monday. It's because they are tied up in committee meetings, floor sessions, caucus meetings, et cetera, et cetera. So just your issue undoubtedly has a lot of timeliness. So you don't want to put it off for 3 weeks. You want to get in there as soon as possible. But you do need to work with staff person scheduling. I realize too that as important as it is to be able to talk to your elected official face to face, sit down in his or her office and have a conversation, not everybody can do that. There are many who live too far away from the Capitol, or it's hard to get to the county commissioner's office. There's so many things going on today, whether it's COVID or whatever, you know, kids aren't in school, you have problems with daycare, or you're taking care of an elderly family member, you yourself are having to be isolating. A phone conversation can be a good backup. And so if you just really can't get to the Capitol, do consider calling the staff person and making a telephone conversation, appointment for a telephone conversation. And that can be a very effective way to talk to your elected official also. I do want to remind you, when you call the staff person, if you're wanting to make a phone appointment, be sure to let the staff person know that this is a phone appointment, this is not an in-person, and whether you're making an in-person appointment or a phone appointment, before you hang up, confirm, make certain that you know the time, the day, and are you when you are going to have a phone conversation, verify, are you the person calling in, or is the elected official or the staff person calling you? You want to make certain, because excuse me, if for some reason the appointment doesn't happen, it could be very difficult to get another timely appointment. So a few pointers on what to do and what to expect as you prepare for the meeting with your elected official. Probably first, well, maybe not first, but one of the very most important things is to be on time. And when you get the scheduled time, maybe your appointment is at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, be certain as you're preparing, part of your preparation should be to Google from your home, presumably it's your home or your office, and getting to the Capitol, how much time that you are going to have to allow to be there, allow for a traffic jam or an accident or bad weather. And then when you get there, where are you going to park? How do you pay for parking? How far away from the Capitol are you going to be parking? Get into the Capitol, you go to the south doors, they're closed, you go to, just kind of map out getting there, and then be 5 or 10 minutes early. You don't want to be earlier than that, but allow 5 minutes, allow a little time to use the restroom, and go to the elected official's office, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Patti Milne. I have a 10 o'clock appointment with Senator Jones, and of course you'll be greeted. And if you can, you might want to say, and I understand I have 10 minutes or 5 or perhaps whatever you've been told, and be very conscious of keeping that time frame, because you don't want to disrupt their schedule. And you also don't want to disrupt all the busyness that's happening in the elected official's office. Staff is very, very busy as well. They're likely to greet you. They say, did you have any trouble finding a parking place? Because we know that can be a big problem. And you might say, well, it took me a while, but I found a place. And then let it go. Don't get into small talk and get the staff people off their task. So as we're talking about, you've made an appointment with a staff person, you've just been greeted, you're feeling pretty comfortable, but maybe a little nervous. I do want to take a second to talk about the gatekeepers. Staff know their elected official probably better than anyone else, maybe except for a spouse, and know how they think, how they respond to various pieces of legislation. The staff person is going to have a pretty good idea of a position if you're there on a specific piece of legislation. And they also understand how that elected official thinks and processes stuff, what kind of information is particularly helpful. And they do guard their elected official. So you want to be very, very courteous. You want to be professional. You want to be brief. You want to be specific. But I'd also add that it's really important to just be yourself, that you're comfortable and you're there. You have a job to do. You're going to try to sell your ideas to the elected official and convince them, him or her, to do what you're there to encourage to do. So you want to feel comfortable. You want to be yourself. And you've done your homework, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So you're ready. You're ready to talk to this elected official. But keep in mind that that staff person is really key to the time you're going to have and anything going forward. So do that. As another aspect of just some basic etiquette, and interestingly, over the last few years, various legislators have shared with me that the decorum at the Capitol seems to be slipping, and legislative process just with such respect and awe and the importance of what they do. And I think the process deserves to be recognized for the importance that it is and the individuals in the process. And so we want to also, in meeting with elected officials and with their staff, we want to be polite. We want to use the proper decorum. So always address an elected official with their title, Senator Jones, Representative Williams, and the staff people, Miss Smith or Mr. Connor. Thank you so much for the help you've provided, and all of this polite, professional, it goes a long, long way. And the reason that's emphasized is word travels fast in the Capitol. Your reputation can get in your way if a legislator felt that you were being pushy, or a staff person thought you were rude. That's going to travel, and we know this from life, and this is the way life is. But it is especially important because you're there for a really important reason, and you want your meeting to be successful. So just keep those things in mind. And another thing is, we all have our own style. I love talking about this particular section of this topic. My husband is a financial broker, and a lot of his clients are farmers. And we know in Oregon, lots and lots of farmers, and people who work have hard jobs, and they have a lot of work clothes. And I used to laugh, I'd go in there, oh my gosh, the carpet, who was in today, Stan? The carpet is full of mud from the work boots and the farm equipment. But going to the Capitol, again, we want the decorum, we want the respect of the process, and you want to be respected. That here's an advocate for a really important. Just keep those things in mind. So to prepare for your meeting, again, you want to be professional. You're selling yourself. You're selling this idea. You're selling a way of thinking. You're providing some background, some information on an issue that you know a lot about, or you've taken a lot of time to research the issue. I know there are a lot of groups who encourage their members to lobby, and they provide a lot of background information, and you've studied up and you're ready to go. But just keep in mind that as much as you may do a lot of research, you may have a lot of facts and figures, you might have a lot of background material, while it doesn't hurt to take some of that information with you, and it might be for your own use. I do that myself. I want to have things at my fingertips so that I stay on topic and I make sure the points I want to make are made. But you don't need to overwhelm the legislator with a lot of paperwork. But feel free to take a handout. Maybe there's some facts and figures that you think will be extremely helpful as you talk to the person and you tell your story of why this piece of legislation is so important and the effect it's going to have. And the best way...
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So my passion is education, and I'm an educator, been in education for 25 years, in the classroom for 12 of those 25 years, well, my own classroom, 12 of those 25 years. And I also have a Democrat senator and a Democrat representative. And do you have any suggestions on how to lobby with them with a different political viewpoint? For example, like the 1619 Project or BLM or the Comprehensive Sex Ed and things like that, opening our schools. I mean, there's a litany of things that I want to go over, but I want to be able to do it in a succinct manner and not have confrontation, but actually have good dialogue to be able to get my point across and hopefully maybe convince change of mind.
Good. And you're an educator, or your involvement is in education is as an advocate, as parent, or from what perspective?
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning. You cut out a little bit, but I think I know what you're asking.
Yeah.
It would be just as a concerned citizen, parent, because I've retired from public education, and I use that loosely there. And now I just want to be able to advocate, because what I'm seeing here in Oregon is horrible. I moved here a year ago from Texas, and it's horrible.
Well, I appreciate the question, and yes, Richard, are you raising your Richard?
Yes, I am raising
Richard,
my
did
hand.
you want?
I think the question that you asked is excellent. One thing I would advise is to try and find some aspect of the issue you're advocating for or against that appeals to liberals. For example, if I'm talking about school choice to a conservative, I talk in terms of allowing parents to control the direction of their child's education. But if I'm talking to a liberal, I talk in terms of making sure poor kids have the same choices that rich kids have. It's a different take that results in the same thing. And if you can discover what the motivation is, or at least the stated motivation of the Democratic legislator is, and you can find some way to sell your idea along those lines, that is sometimes a way to change their mind, or if not change their mind, you can neutralize them, or sometimes it can generate a wedge issue that can divide liberals that can stop something. So that's what I had to add, Patty.
Well, that's great, Richard. And these days with well, there are two things. Yes, we're such a divided country, and the positions are so far apart, it appears. And so Richard's suggestion, Jeanette, I think is fantastic. But I think whether it's on education, and boy, that's one of my passions. That's how I got started in everything political, is that and with your background, you clearly have a really strong foundation for what you would like to see happen and the concerns you have. And so when we're advocating, when we're lobbying, if we're talking from our own experience, from our own story, our children, your background as an educator, the people that you probably are involved with a group that's advocating for these different education issues, and to share stories of again, with what Richard's saying, you're talking to the liberals, but these poor kids, and you have friends, you have family, maybe in your own life, and the opportunities that were available to help bring low income or communities of color, as they say, giving those children the same opportunities that are available to anybody. One of the wonderful things about the United States of America is that you can be anybody you want to be if you have opportunities to education, and everybody's path to a good education is a little bit different one from the other. And that's where, educational choice, yes. So I hope that helps, but I think we all individually, and we're kind of going to be running out of time here shortly, it's important that we feel grounded, that whatever experience we have, and looking at who's here today, I know you all have a lot of really good experience in your personal, professional lives, and we need to rely on that experience to tell our story and why the issue you're supporting is so important to not just your child, to your business, to your community, to your professional organization, but it's the opportunity for everyone to be successful. So I hope that helps a little bit. So getting back to you're visiting with I'll just finish this real quickly, and I'd love to have other questions and conversation. When your time is up, don't hang around, but thank your legislator, thank the staff person for the time they've given you. Ask them if they have any questions about any of the information you've shared. Make sure there's a good understanding, that they understood what you're saying and that you understand their position, and be sure to thank them. And even in the modern world, after you've left, write them a little thank you note, because those small things and go a long way today. So again, I think we need to, in today's world, don't worry about people bullying you. I think each of you, from what I can tell, you're strong people. You have good, solid background on your issue. If we're confident in the message we share, it overflows to friends, family, people that you, maybe it's a civic organization or other groups you're involved in. And that can be an encouragement too, to other people to speak up and to start lobbying and be a greater citizen advocate. Be the role model for citizen activism. So any other questions? And what do we have, Richard? A minute or two on actually lobbying?
Yeah, I think.
I have
I was going to say, I think Suzanne Gallagher had a question for you. Hi, Suzanne.
Great. Okay. Hi, Suzanne.
Oh, I'm just writing a comment. I'm Executive Director for Parents' Rights in Education, so I've done a lot of writing on this topic, and also experienced testifying before many school boards. And so some people, Jeanette, to your question, some people just are not. If you are lobbying someone who is strongly behind the teachers unions and their agenda, they're not going to be open to listening to you. But there are a few words and phrases that I like to use when I am discussing this. And one is that all children in our nation are guaranteed a free public education.